Alright, I'm back, and it's time to do a couple pre-flight checks. And the first check is the screws that I used to mount the capacitor were a little on the long side, and make sure that they're short enough that they're not going to touch the speed switch. And that seems to be okay. The other is the blades. I want to make sure that the blades are at least adjusted enough that they're not going to hit anything. And since this is a total mystery fan, you know, I've had it for a while, I've not checked that. So we're going to spin the blades here by hand a little bit and see how they look and if they hit anything. And then we'll be ready to go for a drive here, a test run. Also, when you're doing one of these, you want to set the oscillator to the minimum or no oscillating position. And to do that, you need to adjust the gear case there to where the pivot is in the middle of the oscillator disc. Okay, and as you recall, I was talking about the wire there on the head cord. It's I've got the slack in it now to where that's all out and exposed, and it looks hairy, but I don't think there's anything touching. We'll find out. So I'm going to plug this into the current limited power supply. It's limited because it's in series with a light bulb, and so the current is going to be limited to whatever it is that the light bulb draws. And I'm going to go ahead and set the fan on high, and we'll turn it on. And I'm going to have the middle switch in the off position because that's the bypass that cuts the light bulb out of the circuit. And then this is the switch that turns the power on to the outlet. And let's find out if the light bulb glows at full brightness or if we have a running fan. We've got a shaker. We've got a shaker. But it come up to speed and it's not too bad. So what we'll do is we'll, before we take the fan apart, we'll do just like what we did on that one there. We'll take the blades off and then take the cage off, and we'll put the strobe on it and we'll balance the blades out. Not too bad. This is a fan that I bought in Stillwater at a place called Urban Rescue. They were selling it as interior decoration. They had this fan and they had the non-oscillating Emerson 28 series fan that you saw in the one of the previous videos up on the display shelf for sale. And that fan had a lot of red overspray on it. So for some weird reason they were selling it as the copper fan. And I don't know if they got the fan that way, or knowing these people, they probably purposely did it that way so they could, you know, sell it. It's one of those type of places for people that watch a lot of, you know, those television programs where people cobble up antiques and stuff. So anyway, I managed to rescue that fan, and I managed to rescue this fan from that shop, and now it's getting restored. What I plan to do on these fans is, like I said, having them powder coated, and I don't know about the aluminum blades yet about having them powder coated, but I'll talk to the powder coater, at least have them sandblast the blades. And my friend's fan plans it's going to be black with the we'll use silver powder coat for the cage to recreate the Untitled finish. That's what it's called in the catalog. And this fan, I've been toying with the idea of painting it some other color. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. The cage is going to be silver because it was originally the Untitled finish. But I've been thinking of some other color than black. Maybe I don't know. Probably just end up being black. I think there's just something pretty timeless about a black fan. So let's watch it run one more time. I didn't even put any oil in the motor or anything. I just put the base. Since the last video, I put the base on and then stood the fan up, and then you saw me do the pre-flight checks there. So, okay, let's unplug it. And we'll take the cage off. Once it comes to a stop. Here it's scraping on something. So, on this style of cage, it comes off fairly simple. The cage snaps on. You can see how it hooks on there. And I'm doing this one-handed. You just go around and unhook it. There's 4 pairs of places where it snaps on. And then the front of the cage is off. I'll set this over here with the other cage. Next is taking the back half of the cage off, and I did that on that fan. It made it a little bit easier to work on. I guess it's totally not necessary, but I'd like to show you how to do it anyway, because this is how you this is part of how you got to take the blades off. And on this style of fan, you have to remove the bullet back to take the blades off as the first step. So we'll unscrew the screw that holds that on, and we'll very carefully work the cover down around the oscillating mechanism there like that. Just let it hang. Now we need to remove this screw right here. Okay. Then we thread in our special tool. And this tool works on any Emerson fan with 4 motor screws. Alright, that's very important. If you try this on one of the 79 series fans that just has a single screw here and then 1 screw on each side, in other words 3 screws, if you do this, you'll run your tool right into the motor windings and ruin the fan. So, do not do. But you're going to take and you're going to screw this in until it contacts the rotor. And locks the blades. You won't be able to turn the blades. Okay? Alright, then you would screw the blades off in the direction in which the fan runs. And this came off real super duper easy. Okay? And look, there's that GE patent number. I looked up that patent. The gentleman that that invented these blades came from Clayton, Missouri. Wonder how far he was from the Emerson company. But the patent was assigned to the GE. Okay, we can turn it back around to the front. There's the inside there. You can see all the varnish. There's the oil pump spring. There's the scraper and the nut. It's one piece that holds the rotor in. Now you need your 5/16 nut driver. Take these 4 studs off. I call them studs, they're cap nuts. This video is running a little long. Alright, we'll take the other half of the cage off. And so we've still got the tool in there, so we'll go ahead and we'll put the blades back on. This time you screw them in the direction opposite of the way that the fan runs. Don't have to be real tight. Felt like my thing slipped here. I just hit a rough spot. There they go. Okay, it's firm. We unscrew this. Make it go a little faster. We'll put the screw back in that holds the gearbox on. Apologize that the video is going a little longer than my promised 10 minutes. This makes up for the fact that the last video ended up being short because I edited out the places where I put the camera down, put the bullet cover back on, put the screw back in that holds the bullet cover to the gearbox, and you don't need to watch me do this. I'll see you on the next video.